So it's May 11th, 2019, and we're here at the mangoes. So here's one of the mangoes, the one of them that is doing better than the other. I've got the other one set back there on the table, so I can replace the soil for it because it's starting to struggle. However, this one here is doing pretty well. So you can see it's a couple feet tall now, maybe 2 feet, and we've had it for a couple months. This is one of the first plants that I had started with, so hopefully I can get these mangoes to grow to maturity here in the next few years, and we can get them to fruit. So here we are with the other mango. As you can see, it is struggling a bit. The foliage there is starting to die, and when I try and lift the pot here, I think this is a 2-gallon pot. It is really heavy. It's too heavy for a pot that size. So like I said, this mix was a mix I made myself, and I had no choice but to try and give this mango a bigger home because it was getting too big for the pot it was in. However, these mangoes originally started in MIRACLE-GRO potting mix, but I wasn't able to get some at the time I transplanted these. So I went on ahead and made a mix of my own, and it wasn't too good for the plant, as you can see here. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen it up. I'm going to shoot all this muddy clay off of it, and hopefully we can save it by putting it back into some MIRACLE-GRO potting mix. So I've got the mango out of the pot, and I'll go ahead and water this down and see what's going on. And there we have it, guys. Here's our root mass. It looks like the root mass of death. It is all black, and I'm not sure if this is, the color it's supposed to be. I'm sure the healthier roots would look white, more white, light brownish, I guess you can say. So it looks like I've been smothering this plant with that soil mixture I had made, which was a super huge mistake. But like I said, hopefully we can get this guy some nutrients to keep him alive from that Miracle-Gro potting mix. So we're just trying to bring this guy back to life. Hopefully we can. So I'm going to go ahead and pot him up. I won't be making the video showing you how it looks. I'll just go ahead and show you in a couple weeks whether it survived or not. All right, so it is November 18th, 2019, and we are back here at the mango trees. So these mango trees are a little over maybe a year and a month old since first germinating from seed. And we started off with 2 mango trees and ended up with just this one. To make a long story short, I planted them into some bad potting mix and wound up having to move them back into some decent potting mix. And throughout that whole process, one of them didn't make it, and that was the one with if you look back at the last clip of the mango trees, it was the one with the twisted leaves. One of them did make it though, and I'm glad we at least have one that made it. As you can see here, he's about 3 feet tall, and it's definitely time for him to go into the ground. So I'm out here at the farm. I brought him out here, and I'm going to go ahead and put him into the ground because we're about to have a couple days of really rainy weather. So I want him into the ground, and that rain can go ahead and help these roots establish the plant and get this mango tree going. So as we look here at the trunk of the plant, it's definitely maturing. So I'm really glad I'm out here finally putting him into the ground because it's been a long time coming. So I'm going to go ahead and stick him into the ground here, and we'll start back up. All right, so there we have it. Here's our mango in the ground. I went on ahead and watered them a bit, although it shouldn't matter because it's going to rain quite heavily here the next couple days, maybe the next week. So that'll help the roots spread out down there and establish a good base for the plant. So I think we'll come back here within a couple of months just to see the progress. And if it starts deteriorating, I'm going to go ahead and clip that too, so that you guys can see either it grows or it doesn't. And either way, we'll come back in a couple of months to see what happens. All right, so it is March 5th, 2020, and it's been a little over 3 months since we've had this guy planted out here. As you can see, he's got some new foliage coming up as we are approaching spring technically here in Hawaii. Although I wouldn't consider Hawaii too seasonal, the plants do adjust to the tropical weather here, and they do go through transitioning as other plants would maybe in the mainland. However, yes, temperatures here in Hawaii aren't as extreme as other temperatures around the world, but the plants do adjust. And as you can see here, here's the old foliage on the bottom, and here's that new foliage coming up on the top. The mango is starting to branch. As you can see here, it's got 3 branches coming off on the sides here. Actually it's got 4. So as it gets bigger, I will consider topping it because I don't want this mango to get too big. Although the mother plant that I got this mango from wasn't too big, I would assume that they did keep that mango tree trimmed as well. So I don't want to be climbing to the top of a mango tree or trying to reach all the way up there to get a mango. I'd like them to be closer to the ground. So I will definitely consider topping it later on. But I think this plant is well on its way to getting bigger. It hasn't shown too many signs of struggling, but this burning you can kind of see here on the leaves. This is what happens to almost all the plants here in Hawaii around this time, around the winter time that is. So I do notice this with quite a few plants here on the island. So I'm not too worried about it. I don't think it's any type of a deficiency as far as the plant needing nutrients. But as you can see, the new foliage here looks great, so I'm not too worried about it. That'll be it for this video on the mango, this update. We'll come back to the mango in another couple of months, but as for now, everything looks good to go. We'll see you in a couple of months.